Hey, hi, howdy, how are you folks? My name is Nallex and welcome back to another League of Legends video. We're back in the jungle playing some Kayn. This game was an absolute banger, a 55-minute banger at that, so don't be surprised if you don't get to see a lot of the early game. All I need to know is that this Nocturne is a bit of a beast as far as getting lucky on his early game decisions. Now, obviously, I was just trying to put an early ward down, get caught out by the Nocturne, get hit just barely by the Q there, but Mordekaiser's here to save me, so I do get to survive. One more interaction at the very least. I'll walk more closer to the tower after I see that there's 3 people there. And Mel walks up. Now you'll notice my team has a Mel as the support for the game. In Champ Select, this is a true fact, in Champ Select, this Mel was like, somebody should pick Mel. Nobody picked her, nobody banned her. So then she swapped to first pick as support, picked Mel, and said, I've never played Mel before, she just looks like fun. So that's great. And that's what you get in low elo. Sometimes people will just play champs because they look like fun, not because they're any good at them. Now, if you don't remember the story, Riot decided that I was Bronze 3 after my placement games this season, so I decided to show them they were wrong. I have been absolutely smurfing. I'll put up my win rates right now, but I've been spamming Shyvana and Kayn in the jungle. I think both of them are right around an 80% win rate right now, so clearly not a Bronze 3 jungler, but who am I to tell Riot what to do, right? So Nocturne's already off to a pretty good start, delaying me onto my first camps. He's clearing from top to bot, as we know from where he was positioned last we saw him. And so we're clearing bot to top, knowing we're already going to be slow. So our best chance is to just avoid Nocturne, get the Scuttle Crab, and back, and sequence our camps to try and catch up from there. So as we're finishing our full clear, we're kind of taking a look at the map, taking stock of what's going on. We see Silas is pretty low, so we're keeping an eye on our minimap there. He's also super far pushed up. It's not really a gank opportunity. He's low enough to get a kill, but he trades one right back. This is patch 2 of season 2025, which means the feats of strength have been changed. It's no longer a first blood gets the feat of strength. It's now the first to get 3 kills gets the feat of strength, and you'll see that come into play here in just a little bit. As I finish my topside camps, I go straight onto that Scuttle Crab to get it. I smited a second time, which normally I don't do. I like to use my smite on the Scuttle Crab, but I wanted to get my clear done just a little bit quicker. Nocturne ganks the bottom side, I gank the top side. This is just typical jungle trading, although for me, it doesn't go very smoothly as Pantheon flashes away and Nocturne gets a double kill, giving them the feat of warfare. They've gotten their 3 kills, and that is 1 feat of strength on their side to our none. Grab our pickaxe, we're back on the map, clearing once again from bot to top. Now, I'll never claim to be the best jungle player in the world, but what I will say is I've been watching a lot of jungle guides and trying my best to really kind of absorb all that information from those much better junglers. One of those things is jungle tracking. So, a little bit of a lesson here. We saw Nocturne get a double kill on the bot side. We know he started his topside camps. Where is he at right now? He's clearing his topside camps again, which means he's on his way towards the dragon. And because we're weaker and he just got a double kill and we don't have form yet, we want to avoid him. We do not want to fight Nocturne if at all possible. So we are just going to full clear once again towards the top side and play to get these grubs right on their spawn. One of the nice parts about clearing from bot to top is that on your second full clear, you'll be done right as soon as the grubs spawn and you can fight them. Now Nocturne does something a little atypical here. He clears his topside camps and then goes for my topside. Now, I understand why. He's a strong character, sure, but he doesn't actually get anything. He doesn't get anything. He just wastes a lot of time. Or at least it would be a waste of time if my Silas would listen to my danger ping and not go all in on the Vigar. So once again, a very lucky Nocturne gets another kill. 3 kills to the Nocturne, and now we watch him head towards the bot side. And like I said and predicted just a little bit ago, those Void Grubs are perfectly free. For some reason I ward here. In hindsight, couldn't tell you why. Now, proper etiquette for clearing the grubs is that you're supposed to pull them like this. I should have done it as my first move instead of doing a full combo on the first grub and then doing it, but I eventually learn my lessons. See, I swear I am learning things from all the videos I'm watching. Mordekaiser dies top lane. Not much we can do. If we were watching our F keys a little bit better, maybe we could have decided not to do the grubs. But at this point, I do think it's more worthwhile. Fortunately, I did delay that smaller grub there just a little bit, but eventually we get those grubs, make that trade, dragon for grubs, which we're pretty okay with for right now. Taking a look at the game, I just got my level 6 off of the void grubs, which means Nocturne is probably also very close to level 6, and he also was in the bot side. So I ping, Nocturne was level 5 last we saw him. I warned my mid lane, I warned my top lane, just in case he did eventually back and go towards his top side. But the one lane I don't ping is the bot side, and just like that, there's the Nocturne ult to the bot side for another kill the Nocturne. Now, by the time I finish my camp and I have actual vision of the map, they're all backing up, not much I can do. So, I'm back on my red buff, back on my BS, and just clearing my camps. As much as I'd love to have more impact during these fights, and, help my team out a little bit more, I just really haven't been able to. The sequencing of my camps has just not quite been in perfect harmony with where they are. Like, I started my red buff, and they were pushed up, but by the time I'm done, bing, bang, boom, they're there. Now, part of that is, I've seen the replay, there's a ward in that bush, they saw me coming. They're playing well. So I want to clear out some vision on the potential that maybe I can come back later and get a gank off then. Sylas still fighting with the Veigar. Veigar super low, but Sylas is low on mana and pushed up, which means I can't gank that. That's not a thing I can gank as a non-form having Kayn in the early game. So I'm just clearing my camps once again. We see Pantheon walk down. Sylas goes all in on the Veigar one more time, walks a little too far. I now have a little bit of an opportunity to come in. And the reason I'm flashing in here, one was I was trying to hopefully make it so that way that Sylas gets out. But two, I really need orbs here. So yes, I die, but I get a shutdown. So for 430 gold, I give away 300 of my own. Net positive for me. Now, technically, it's a 1-for-2 trade because Sylas got his butt killed, but Sylas killed the Veigar, so if you're really doing the math on it, not too bad. Once again, we see Nocturne going towards the bot lane, so I send them 6 retreat pings on the Nocturne's location to let them know they're coming, and I continue to ping to warn them, but I don't have any more pings left. My bot lane knows Nocturne is coming, decides the best course of action is to run directly at him. And so Nocturne gets, well, you'll see. Just another double kill is all he gets. Nothing too crazy. Was there much I could do there? No. If I had ran straight there, I would have just also died to the Nocturne. Nocturne gets another double kill. I think that's his 6th of the game so far. And we're getting pretty close on our form, thanks to that all-in on the full health Pantheon. But we're not quite there yet. Once we get Red Kayn form, everything changes and we can really start to look to fight. But right now, we've got nothing. Except for the grubs that are about to spawn again. Only problem is, now that Nocturne's sequencing top to bot, and we just saw him leave bot, he's coming straight to top lane. And we're about to come face to face with the beast here in just a few seconds. But at the moment, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm thinking, hey, if I can get a second objective, maybe we can still get feats of strength, even with a 6-0 Nocturne. I do the move correctly this time. I pull the grubs, and boom, I'm doing the grubs. And Sylas even walks towards the grubs, or at least I thought he did. Sylas grabs the honeycruits and abandons me promptly. Good for him. I'm happy for him. And this is a bit of an awkward part. I get pinged by the Nocturne here. This is where I should have just left. But instead, I thought Nocturne was going to, bounce up over the side. So I was like, maybe I can get one more. And then use my E to get out on the wall. No. He walked around the wall, kills me, finishes the last Void Grub. We got 5 Void Grubs, and they got 1. So 5 Void Grubs, still a positive thing. But Nocturne's 8-0. And by 8-0, well, let's just say he's 9-0. Versus our Sylas. things are looking pretty bleak here. A 9-0 enemy Nocturne in the early game. Already got their first 3 kills. And we only have 1 objective to our name. Things are looking pretty bleak, right? I'm a 1-2 Kayn without form. It's 11 minutes or 12 minutes in, really. And we're not looking too hot. But here in just a little bit, we'll find an opportunity to get our form, as well as a little bit of gold. About a minute later, and the Nocturne has gotten the second dragon, and, well, he's probably still on the bot side. I pinged my bot side a little bit, and I actually go here into the top side, thinking that maybe I can help Mordekaiser kill this Pantheon. But by the time I get there, Mordekaiser already did it. A little awkward from me, but we do have 5 grubs, and we do know where every member of the enemy team is, and they're not on their turret yet. So we find a weird opportunity here from some interesting macro decisions to actually hit this turret before them, and because we have 5 grubs, we're actually able to get the first turret, which gives us a feat of strength. Now, feats of strength are looking a little more possible, even with a, I believe, 10-0 now enemy Nocturne. Feats of strength are still an option. Now, is it my main focus in life to try and get this feats of strength? No, but I found an opportunity to get that turret thanks to some smart jungle pathing. Now, the Nocturne has been getting very lucky and getting a lot of really free gank opportunities, but he is an early game assassin jungler with a really strong level 6 spike. We are a late game fighter jungler with a really good spike once we get our form and a couple items. Silas TPs into the mid lane. We see a great opportunity to jump this Vigar, and of course we're going to take it. Of course, it takes us a little while to get there because we don't want to use our flash just to kill the Vigar. But sure enough, eventually, with the use of my ult, I get the kill on the Vigar, which gives me just enough orbs to get my red form. Now, normally this would be a perfect time to back, but if you look at my gold total here, I am really close to finishing my second item. Or at least, that's what I'm thinking in my head, is that I'm getting close to my second item. Nocturne ults, there's 3 people under the turret. There's no world where I can save this Vayne. Might as well just get these drugs, but then I notice the Nocturne is just completely out of position. So naturally, I get a free 1,000 gold shutdown. Run away from the Misfortune ult, obviously. And I'm not looking to fight these guys. I've already got my form. I don't need the orbs. And I just got 1,000 gold. So I've got 3,200 gold in my pocket. This is where I should back. I stay just a little bit longer because I have 1 stack left on my jungle item. And I'm thinking to myself, why not just kill the red buff real quick before I back? That way my full bot side is cleared. I just have top side to go. I've got my form, I've got my next item, and I've upgraded my jungle item. I'm just making this spike look as juicy as humanly possible. Did I need to get it? Absolutely not. It would not have been an important thing for me to do. Vayne finds a pretty decent opportunity to hit the Tahm Kench quite a bit. And for once, my bot lane actually does something useful. We'll take what we can get. Turn into the Darken, get our Spear of Shojin, and look towards our next item. Nocturne ults our Vayne in the bot side to get 1 free kill, but leaves up the Rift Herald, and Mordekaiser's in a great position. Now we're getting our second objective of the game. We're tied up at 2 objectives and 1 feat of strength each. The next person to get an objective will get the upgraded boots and the feats of strength for the game. Nocturne's pushing mid. Right, he's getting that mid turret, which is great for him, don't get me wrong. But I'm Red Kayn with 2 items and a little bit of armor on the side just to make it a little juicier. So I can actually fight pretty well here. We steal the kill from the Mordekaiser just because I'm a terrible person. Get a question mark ping because of it. I don't blame him. But we push Nocturne away, and the dragon is spawning. Rough row, Mr. Nocturne. If you don't come over here and stop this, I'm about to get feats of strength when you have 12 kills and only 1 death. You wouldn't want to lose the feats of strength when you're that far ahead, would you, Mr. Nocturne? The answer is no. He's on his way. And now it's crunch time. Macro is gone. It's all about the micro plays here. How am I fighting? How am I staying alive? Using my ult to dodge and keep myself alive while I just wait for it to get low enough. Smite it while I'm inside of him. Boom, I'm out of there. Feats of strength acquired. I don't care if my team dies. In somehow, some way, Vayne kills the Nocturne. I don't know how it happened, but good for her. All the while, I'm just celebrating. We got the feats of strength on a 12-2 now. Nocturne. This is a really fun fight here. Veigar's pushed up just a little too far in the top side. So we go for a fight, and then Pantheon shows up. You see my Silas walk 10,000 yards away just to try and catch the Veigar. Now it's a 1v2 from me. Now I gotta run away. But I find a perfect little opportunity for a nice little W. Double kill on the Kayn. You'll notice the second I got Red Kayn, the game became a lot easier for me. Double kill on them puts me at 6-2. Now, even though I've been getting kind of jungle gapped in the early game with how many ganks the Nocturne was able to successfully find, my objective control and, you know, kind of macro level decisions have put me in a position where I'm just about as strong as him. I ping multiple times that Nocturne's on the way and that I have money. So I go back to base and spend some of that money. My team continues pushing up, because why would they listen to a little old jungler like me, who's clearly getting absolutely gapped? We are right around the 20-minute mark, 10 seconds till Otacon spawns, but I have the Eye of the Herald. So my goal here, my ultimate goal, is to place the Herald, get the turret, and use that pressure to go bot lane and try and get the Otacon. Now, how often have you tried to make a plan in a League of Legends game and it's worked out? Not very often. Let's see what actually happens. So I place the Rift Herald, we get the wave pushed up. The Rift Herald will charge into that turret and kill it. Veigar shows up and almost blows up my Vayne. I get Tahm Kench pretty low. Use my Q to get out of the range of the Misfortune ult. My ult to get away from a lot of the damage. Flash out and kill the Misfortune. Mordekaiser kills the Veigar. A beautiful fight from us three. 3v3, we kill all three, lose none. Silas dies in the bot lane alone, a little awkward. And Mel walks up mid lane instead of towards Otacon. Gets immediately one shot by the assassin. And we can no longer get Otacon. It was a beautiful play. It was working even better than I had imagined. I got the tower. We were ready to fight Otacon. I just ignored a Blood Rose because it blends really well with the environment sometimes. Awkward. Once again, I am sitting at quite a lot of gold. Really good time to back right now, but I've also got a ton of camps open. Probably should have defended this turret a little bit better. But also, I wanted that sweet, sweet red buff. You can't even blame me. The red buff's too sweet. And look at this. I find a great opportunity anyway. I love using Smite to get rid of things like Edge of Night. It's just so free, and it helps you do a lot more damage in those situations. But now the enemy team's on Otacon, and I don't like the look of that. I'm going to show my face here. Just show a little bit of pressure. Clear the ward that I know is there. And keep an eye out for any other wards I might see. Instinctively dodge the Tahm Kench Q. Q into a wall, get hit by the stun by the Veigar, lose half my HP, a little awkward. Now my team wants to fight Otacon, and I'm super low HP. I misplayed the Otacon fight because I thought we were going to try and like kite it out or drag it towards us. So now I'm 1 HP. My team starts fighting. I try to save my team. Instead, I get hit by a beautiful Veigar cage, and MF ult plus Veigar ult plus I'm already stunned. I'm not going anywhere. I am dead meat. Bad fight from me. Not the best play. Trying to ping my team off. We already lost it. Let's just get out. Perfect amount of money though. 1650 for the upgraded boots. Normally I don't like to rush them like this, but when it's just a perfect number like that, it's hard to deny that neuron activation that just buying them will give you. Anytime you can complete a really big item like that, and you have the perfect amount of gold, it's probably more fun to get that than, let's say, a pickaxe and a ruby crystal for whatever my next item is going to end up being. So we lost Otacon. Not ideal. Not ideal to lose Otacon. But we saw Nocturne didn't go straight towards the dragon right after it. So we have an opportunity here to actually take the dragon as long as we play it perfectly. If only we had a perfect jungler to dash over the wall, smite the thing, and somehow almost survive. I got stunned for so long, and I'm pretty sure I used my Kayn ult into Nocturne spell shield. So that's a little awkward, and not our perfect play. But we got the dragon. That's what really matters. And also what really matters is this Mordekaiser full focusing on the low health Tahm Kench instead of the Veigar or the Nocturne. Good on him. A little bit of an ace. A little awkward from our team there. But we got the dragon. That's all that matters. 2 mountain dragons. That'll help a lot to deal with the 17-3 Nocturne. 17-3. Is this my fault? I really don't think it is. But it's hard not to feel like it is your fault when the enemy jungler just gets this fed. Truth of the matter is, we saw it all happen. Definitely was not my fault. Just a lot of luck and good positioning from the Nocturne player. Just a little bit after the 20-minute mark, Baron has spawned, and we need to get some vision control over it. I smite the Scuttle Crab in hopes that it would reveal a lot of the map to me, and then Nocturne ults and kills our Sylas. So I actually don't get any vision from the Scuttle Crab, but we know they're not on it because Nocturne's all the way in bot side. At this point in the game, as Red Kayn level 15 with upgraded boots and 3 items, I'm feeling pretty confident. I run into 3 people, and sure, we fight and I have to use my ult to get out. But if I had any kind of team there, oh, the amount of plays we would have gotten would have been awesome. Now, I didn't realize until just a little bit too late that the Nocturne and Veigar were way pushed up, but I didn't have my E on cooldown anyway, so I would have been basically just right with that Vayne. And I get to the fight in time, because we kill the Veigar, and then I mistime my W on the GA. But who knows how long GA lasts. I thought it was like Zanya's, but clearly it's very much a little bit longer, maybe a second and a half or 2 seconds longer. In the future, I'll think about that. But in this game, the amount of times I miss time on Nocturne's GA is quite a bit. Quite a bit. With Nocturne dead and Veigar dead, though, this is looking like a juicy Baron call. We see Pantheon pushed up, so we're also being prepared to turn it and fight him as soon as he shows up. But we're just making the call for now. We see Pantheon looking for an angle on our Vayne. I flash on him immediately. I am not letting Vayne die if I can help it. Still 12 seconds on the Nocturne. I'm pinging my team off because I don't think it's smart with their whole team out there and Mel in the pot lane. But my team's committing. And one of the most important parts about playing in low elo like this, you really need to commit to the play. Whether it's the correct play or not isn't any of your business. It's about, and I smite it really late there, because I was so focused on hitting the Tahm Kench. Whether the team is making the correct play or not is not what's important. It's about playing with the team that's important. So Nocturne jumps on my team. I jump on their misfortune. I see Veigar running. I know that that's what Vayne is trying to do. Nocturne abandons his Veigar. And I'm like, I know where this guy is. I'm not dumb. If I get that kill. Clean little kill on the Veigar. Mel finally rotates to mid lane. Shout out to our support player. What a goat. 28 minutes into the game. Another mountain dragon is spawning once again. It's going to take a lot to get us into the pit and into a good position. Nocturne is still super strong. No one's quite at like full build yet. So Nocturne's mega amount of kills is giving him a huge advantage. We have to play smart, but he also walks bot lane. So I started up. I'm like, why not? Now this fight would be good if only I didn't jump onto the Tahm Kench and go way too deep trying to hit this misfortune, abandoning my whole team while Nocturne ults them and they cleaned up the team fight pretty well. And now I'm 1v3 without my ult because I used it immediately. And they do pretty well. Vayne clutches up, gets herself a kill. This was a pretty awkward moment here where Sylas could have definitely grabbed Tahm Kench ult and grabbed Vayne and saved her from Veigar ult. But he grabbed Tahm Kench instead, just for fun. You know, we're playing for fun around here. So he loses the dragon, but I don't feel too bad about it. I thought about getting Spirit Visage, but I really don't need Spirit Visage. I need more health and more damage. So Sterak's Gauge it is. That shield will come in handy. We need to let out like 50 more gold or something like that. So it's a little awkward on the timing of the purchase, but that's just 1 or 2 camps. Mel's protecting the mid lane very valiantly here. Shout out to Mel. I think I actually got enough for Sterak's Gauge while I was watching and didn't check again to see if I could buy it. But I think I need to clear a camp to get the gold. I didn't, which is kind of dumb of me, but it's fine. Why not clear some camps? Nothing else is available on the map right now anyway. Might as well just clear your camps, get some gold, get some XP, get into level 18. Very early level 18, I would say, 30 minutes in. Feeling good about the timing. I'm 2 levels up on my Sylas, the highest level player on my team. Very clearly the strongest in the team fights for now. As we scale more and more, Vayne will become a team fight problem. But I was never the main damage dealer anyway. So you'll see, I realized, oh yeah, I have 400 gold, way more than I need to get this Sterak's Gauge. But I ping my team, I say, I'm buying Sterak's Gauge. No one fight, no one fight. So they take a fight top. They take a big fight top lane. Now originally, it looks like it's going to be a 2v2. So Mordekaiser ults, leaves our support all alone. And everybody dies. Now here, I think Vayne is dead. I see that she's low health. She's already that far away. But Vayne kites pretty well. She actually gets herself a double kill, which kind of saves the game right there. Vayne does clutch up quite a bit towards the latter half of this game. Now, the early game, let's just say they weren't making the smartest decisions. But by the late game, this Vayne does become a very reliable teammate. Another thing I will say about this team, even though we were so far down, because of the dragon steals or maybe for some other reason, they've been watching a lot of ASAP, there were no surrender votes as far as I noticed in the game. So I feel good. You know, I feel confident in my team. My team feels confident that the game is winnable, and that's what you need sometimes. Flash away from the Nocturne, pop his GA, but I'm still ready to go right back in. Sylas, also ready, and also making bad decisions as he dies to the Nocturne. I trusted my Sylas, knowing the Nocturne was low HP without any of his stuff, but, you know, sometimes you make a mistake. Like this one, where I thought I could kill Tahm Kench, and then I got Pantheon ulted. Off camera, right after I died to that Pantheon ult, my entire team died to a fight that we were already 2 players down on, and then they got double inhibitor. Baron is spawning a second time. We're still level 18. We're still at 4 items plus upgraded boots. We're strong. We are strong, confident players. So we're going in. I'm not afraid. Who should I be afraid of? These guys? No. The answer is yes, I should be, but I time my stuff really well. Nocturne goes in, but I've already done a ton of damage to him and his whole crew. Do a ton more damage to Misfortune, Pantheon, and Veigar. My whole team focuses Nocturne. This was actually a really fun little split team fight where I was fighting 3 members and my whole 4-member team was fighting Nocturne and Tahm Kench. They win that fight. I lose my fight, but do a ton of work. And so now, right after my enemy team aces, my team aces. Now, I'm dead for 40 seconds, but the dragon is spawning. The enemy team has 3 dragons. We only have 2. I have to trust my team in this moment to go to the dragon and take it. Now, luckily, at this point, I actually started to believe in my team because my team actually does eventually go to that dragon and take it. So shout out to them, you know, big shout outs. All right, so a few minutes later, my team still has Baron buff, but we're trying our best to kind of make some plays around the map, push the turrets, Things aren't going too smoothly though, so I'm just kind of farming my jungle camps and staying very aware and ready to help my team. Now, of course, I'm on top side and Nocturne ults bot side, so there's not actually much I can do, but for the first time ever, Nocturne is starting to look killable. The game is definitely looking winnable because we just won a 1v1 against the Nocturne who has like 20 kills. So let's fight, shall we? I'm ready to go up in there. I'm ready to get all up in there. Q into W just to get a little bit of extra range on that W to hit the Pantheon. Now he stuns me. I go through a wall. QW again to knock him up one more time, but it doesn't really bear much fruit. Nocturne's dead for 30 seconds. We still have a little bit of Baron buff left. I think it just ended actually, but we're still looking to get these turrets down. That's our next objective in the game right now, is to get these turrets and get them down. Now I go a little too deep here, seeing a wonderful opportunity on the Pantheon, but what it actually turns into is I go way too deep after using Pantheon ult, or using my ult on Pantheon, who dies immediately. And I go over a wall to try and get to the Misfortune, who gets away, and then I get hit with multiple tower shots. I get stunned for an hour, and not my smartest play there. You gotta make a few mistakes to make an omelet, or break a few eggs to make an omelet. That's the saying. Makes a lot more sense than make a few mistakes to make an omelet. So my team finds a very interesting fight here. Somehow, even though it's a 2v3, Vayne finds an awesome opportunity to jump onto the Misfortune and positions herself really well to then pin the Nocturne to a wall after his GA pops and get a triple kill for herself. Very well played to the Vayne. We bow down to our AD carry. AD carries scale. That's why we believe that this game was winnable, because we know we have a Vayne, and Vayne scales incredibly into the late game. At this point, I've been level 18 for quite a while. I've got 1,500 gold saved up. I'm getting close to finishing my final item, and every back, I'm pretty much buying Elixir of Wrath at this point. But once again, in 1 minute, there's going to be a, what is this, the 7th Drake of the game? Yeah, the 7th Drake of the game. If we get it, it will be Mountain Soul for us and 4 Mountain Dragons on top of it. If they get it, it'll be Mountain Soul for them, and as well as Otacon, which gives them a bonus to the Dragon buff as well. So we really don't want the enemy team to get this buff, but the problem is we're still not quite that strong. And unfortunately, Nocturne's respawning. We're not in a great position. We try to find a good opportunity here on the Pantheon. Mel goes way too deep. Way too deep. Gets herself blown up. Then Silas goes way too deep by himself and gets himself blown up. And I try and make any kind of saving play I can to get the Vayne ahead. Vayne gets knocked up. We do eventually kill the Pantheon and the Misfortune. But then Tahm Kench eats my Vayne. I get blown up. And then Vayne almost kills the Veigar. He uses his golden form. She kills the Nocturne. If she had killed the Veigar, it would have been a crazy good fight. Unfortunately, just not quite making that happen. So it's Mordekaiser left, as well as Tahm Kench and Veigar. Veigar at this point has been scaling for quite a while, has his Rabadon's death cap, has a lot of AP damage. Now it's time to purchase that Spirit Visage, as well as an Elixir of Wrath. We are ready to get on the map. We still have 30 seconds before we spawn. We warn Mordekaiser that there's 2 people of their team and only 1 of him. We also say Silas has teleport and will be spawning very soon, so be prepared to fight, but do not try to take the dragon. Or at least that's what we're trying to say. Not having team chat on can be difficult in some moments, but also 90% of the time it is just a cesspool of the worst type of people saying the worst things they can imagine to your teammates and wanting to lose the game. So I don't mind having things muted, just a little harder to communicate with just pings. Silas and Mordekaiser go a little too deep, trying to defend them from taking the Mountain Dragon, and now they have a 3-person advantage. I say free, not 3. I'm taking this red buff because I know that they're not going to be able to kill it very quickly. And now I'm ready to jump over and go for a steal. Nocturne ults. I jump over, and Mel stole the dragon. I don't know how she did it. This has not been Mel's forte this whole game by any means. But hey, you know, if you're going to be supportive in any one moment, getting Dragon Soul for your team is definitely a good time to do it. So now we've got Dragon Soul. We've got feats of strength. We've got our upgraded boots. We're full build. We're level 18. Surely this game ends pretty soon, right? All right, so Baron's up again. It's been a couple minutes later, and this could be the fight. You know, this could be it. We're trying to find an angle, clearing out some vision from the enemy team. Obviously, with both teams here, it's going to be a little difficult to really start a Baron fight, but we're going to clear the vision out anyway and just see if maybe they leave an opening for us. Spot a couple wards there. Very nice use of the red trinket. Now we're out of trinkets, though, for another minute. Pushing up the mid lane. This would be a great opportunity. I think if we had started it right here, we might have been able to sneak it. Well, we still find a pretty good opportunity nonetheless. So we push the wave one more time and walk back towards that Baron buff. Or I thought we did. Not the best commentator here. Eventually we walk towards that Baron buff. We're taking lots of forward progress with our vision and control. And eventually that leads us to think, why not? Why not just start it? I don't have anything to clear vision right now. Do find something to clear vision. Then we just send it. We see Nocturne mid. We know he's not here. I'm not the damage at this point. I am playing a bodyguard position right now. Nocturne ults. He goes in eventually, but he's just a little too late. And so we get the Baron once more. Somehow Mel gets the Baron instead of me. I'm 1 HP though. Nocturne gets off of his GA, and now he's after me. He's low, but so am I. So I smite to get rid of his spell shield, knock him up, and just barely get my Q off to get that kill. Now we lose 3 of our Baron buffs pretty much immediately in the ensuing fight because we spent a lot of our abilities, time, and damage to kill the Baron. But I get Vayne alive. Now for some reason I think I can blow this camp up way quicker than I can. I smite it, and then I mess up my Q, so I have to auto attack all of these little guys, and then I finally get to back. So I delayed myself by about 5 or 6 seconds there. Probably could have helped a little bit with their push, but probably wouldn't have changed too much. Just a bit of a micro level mistake there with the mechanics of my champion. Nothing to be too concerned about. We do both get Vigar Cage though. We both dodge the W, thank goodness. Find a nice little knock up onto him. I keep going in because I know I have my ult, and that's a huge heal. Somehow Vigar stays alive. He hops into the Tahm Kench's mouth. Tahm Kench stays close by, but I still just can't quite get there to him. Not sure what killed the Pantheon there. It might have been if he had Death Dance. I don't know if he does or not. That ended up killing him, but Vigar somehow gets away in that fight, and no one's really sure how. Nocturne uses ult to zone us off. I go back towards mid lane to clear the waves. And yeah, there we go. 46 minutes into the game, you'd think, well, pretty much everybody in the game is full build at this point. Surely the game ends soon. About a minute and a half later, we are looking once again at another dragon spawning. This one a little more important though, the Elder Dragon. And Nocturne ults really early and doesn't find any value out of it, which is fantastic for us. So, like always, we're trying to take more and more space. In the Dragon Pit, we want to be the ones in charge of the fight instead of relying on me stealing or Mel stealing. And so, boom, we found that control that we wanted. We pushed them all into a little corner, and I find a crazy engage here. So, I hit the dragon by accident, but what it ends up doing is leashing it to the point where we can stay engaged in this fight, but also ready to hit this dragon and just kill it whenever we want. Kayn's positioned really well. Their whole team is grouped up, and so I'm just ready to go all up in there. We hit Nocturne for a lot of damage. I push myself way back there, but all 5 of their members are trying to stop me when they don't realize my team just killed the dragon. And so we get 3, make that 4 with the flash of the Silas killing the Tahm Kench there. Because the entire enemy team is so focused on what I'm doing, You're not focused on what my team's doing, which is killing the dragon. Now we do lose a Nexus turret thanks to the super minions that have been spawning in mid and bot lane. And you'll see as we continue to keep going, we will almost lose the game thanks to the inhibitors that were taken in mid and bot lane. My team, however, understands that we have Elder Dragon buff, 4 members of the enemy team dead, and 30 seconds on the timer to hopefully find something to happen. Unfortunately, I can't really do much besides ping them and tell them to be careful, because I'm dead for 20 seconds. So my team goes a little too deep, Just a little bit. Silas does end up using his golden form to get out of there. His Zonya's hourglass, if you will. And I'm telling him, back up, back up. They're all respawning. We get the inhibitor, and we don't back up. And what I don't realize is, as I'm just like watching this fight happen and clicking to hopefully get there and potentially have any kind of impact, that bot wave is pushing pretty hard towards our base. It's already in our base, and they've got a whole nother super minion coming. There's no point for me not to clear these bot waves. And I didn't know this at the time. Obviously, I'm focused on trying to help them at the fight. Once I realized the fight's over, and I should have just been clearing these waves, I back immediately, and then Vygar teleports. And things get a little more scary than I wanted them to get. Vygar autos the turret once, but thank goodness someone with the Elder Dragon buff shows up and blows him up before he gets too many autos on our Nexus. Whew. We are just saying our prayers and thanking our lucky stars that did not lose us the game. We've been working so hard towards a fantastic comeback. It would be a shame to lose it here. Another Baron is spawning. I believe this is number 4 of the game. We still have a little bit of Elder Dragon buff. I believe we should have maybe about 30 seconds left. So realistically, we shouldn't be as scared as we are to start this Baron up. But with Nocturne being as strong as he was the whole game, it's natural to be just a little hesitant to make any crazy plays. Except when Nocturne walks this far up. I don't know what he was thinking, walking this far up by himself. Smite away his spell shield. He uses his second spell shield to fear me, but Silas now has free reign to jump on him and blow him up. Boom. Jungler down. Baron is up. That's what we like to see. You know what we like to see. So we do what we know how to do best. Just hit that Baron with everything we've got. We know that we're not the main part of the damage, though, so we're also just making sure that no crazy stuff happens from the Tahm Kench. Smite it when it's at 1200, and go towards the mid lane. We've got Baron buff. We've got 5 members up. Their strongest member is down. Surely we can do a little bit of goofiness in the base, and maybe even end this game here. So I say, let's target the turrets. We just want to hit those. We don't really worry about anything else. I'm here with my team protecting the Vayne while she hits the turrets, and Mel walks up and gets smacked by the Pantheon quite a bit. And then I get hit by a cage and a Misfortunal, which kills Silas and almost kills Mordekaiser. And things are looking a little rough. Luckily, though, Vayne does find the timer just a little bit before the Nocturne spawns to kill that turret that we were originally planning on killing. And I can ping all my team to run away before the Nocturne gets his ult back up and has vision and kills all 4 of us. Okay. We got out. Mel starts the Raptors for some reason. No one's quite sure why Mel's doing that. But here it is, folks, the most important part of the game. We still have a little bit of Baron buff left. We're down a member, and the enemy team is pushing towards our base. They have a very strong Vygar, their strongest member at the time. And so it's time to make magic happen. Vygar walks just a little too far up. That's a flash Q onto him and a knock up with it. I use my ult immediately for no reason, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. The engage has been found. Vygar has been knocked up and taken out of the fight. Vayne does the damage, and I do the engaging. Vayne finds the Vygar. That's 4 members of the enemy team dead, and that is a pretty much open Nexus for the next 60 seconds. That's what we like to see, baby. 53 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. Two of my teammates TP towards the top side to clear those towers out. It is all but GG. The only thing we got to do left is hit that dang Nexus. I love playing Kayn. If you can't already tell, this was an absolute banger of a game. Electricity was flowing during it. It was so much fun. I love games like this where you come back from insurmountable odds to get a fantastic game. Plus 50. Thank you so much for watching. Go play Kayn today. I'll see you in the next one.